everybody. Salutations, greetings, and all that jazz. Thanks for checking out this video here on G4G, Games for Gamers. We are here today in Marvel Avengers Alliance, and we seek to answer the question, should I or shouldn't I buy the new item that is on sale for gold, and that is called the Savage Spear. Now, one of the reasons why I wanted to do this video for you guys is because I am pretty intimately knowledgeable of the weapon. I did craft it during the Spec Ops, which is the Shayna one, but I also feel that right now Playdom is doing you a very bad disservice in that all the freaking clicks in the world will not tell you what the multifunction is. So if you're a relatively new player or somebody who didn't complete this back then and you look at this and you're like, what is this? Okay. Not really much of a description here. Well, if you go to the store doesn't tell you either. So I'm going to go ahead and do Playdom's job for you and talk to you about the item and talk to you about what you can and can't do with it. As you can see here, we are dropping into the simulator against Arnim Zola. And we are running Anti-Venom and Shayna. And the first thing you may notice is that my agent had 11k damage at the start of 11k hit points. That is because I stacked 3 similar but different items together. The Hallowed Flamethrower, which gives me Might. The Savage Axe, which gives me Savage Strength. The only other thing in the game that does this is the Primitive Spear. The Primitive Spear was the precursor item to the Savage Spear. It was the non-upgraded item that you had along the route. Similar to the Prototype Cube and the Synthetic Cube. If you've ever run into somebody in PvP who did 2 similar cube functions in 2 rounds, you're like, isn't that cooling? That's because you can run both of them, the same way you can run both spears. However, the Savage Axe and the Primitive Spear cannot be run together as they both give you the identical same buff, so they do not stack. I'm running the Pound of Cure, which came from the Horseman Spec Ops. This was a weapon that was based off of Beast. It causes contamination, which it counts as a poison, but it also can cause weakened, dizzy, or slowed, which is a Paragon debuff, or pressure point. Also causes genetically altered, which Arnim Zola can cause himself. You take damage every turn, your attack, defense, accuracy, or evasion may be reduced, and you take heavy damage if it is removed early, just like Doom. Doom and genetically altered function exactly the same for all purposes. So we are going to hit him with that. So now he is poisoned, so now Shayna is in love with Arnim Zola. And now we are also going to do a straight up Noxious Strike. So here are the 3 items. If we look just at the spear itself, we don't get to find out, but we will see this after the match. It increases your hit points, your defense, accuracy, and attack. So this is actually one of the few weapons in the game that could also be classified as a stat stick. A stat stick is a term that was used in World of Warcraft, where you got something that you equipped to your character strictly for the buffs that it gave you. It was more commonly used for hunters who had melee weapons and ranged weapons for many, many years. And their melee weapon, because they never used it, was often called a stat stick. It provided agility, attack power, crit, haste, whatever. So we're going to hit him with the Soporific Strike, which says that he could become dizzy, poisoned, slowed, torpid, where his psychic damage is reduced by 40%, or poison. Please ignore the cower that's coming from my suit. If the person has poison, they may gain slowed, or they may gain dizzy if they are slowed, and it can spread to other people if they are bleeding. So, what I'm going to do on Anti-Venom is I'm just going to open up with I Am the Cure. And on Shayna's turn, I am going to use the Quick Action Heal debuff remover on my agent. This is now a quick action thanks to her ISO that is being bandied about all over the place. And we are going to go ahead and get her Berserker going. She's going to follow up on it because he's already poisoned. As long as he is poisoned before Shayna does an attack, Shayna will follow up. But he has to be poisoned first. Now, we are going to get him hit with another kind of poison, the one that reduces his ranged attack. And then you might be wondering, well, what is anti-venom in here for? I get it, venom, but he doesn't do poison. No, he doesn't. But he has this nifty little thing called Cleansing Touch, which is Sterilized. Sterilized says it removes all buffs and debuffs from a person. That means if Doom and Genetically Altered is on somebody, they will proc because of this. This existed before Demise did. So if you wanted Doom to get hit on somebody and then have it immediately proc, Anti-Venom was your only way of doing it. So watch what's going to happen. There is the genetic withdrawal. That is the 2,000 extra damage from the Pound of Cure debuff going away. Now we're just going to go ahead and set him up as flanked, and if you will notice, she will not follow up because he's no longer poisoned. But now she has that extra turn, so now we're going to give her Scorpion Sting. And now she follows up because of the poison. And that's the Berserker in action. And we are going to see if Savage Axe will kill him. Probably not. So we are going to Pound of Cure him again. Unfortunately, not a whole lot Anti-Venom's going to be able to do, but we'll just go for the big whopping Crusade. And then he follows up with Bloodletting because of the flanked. And Shayna is just going to go ahead and go for the big put away with a Spear Vault. So, Kurth, Shayna, Ultimate Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2099, Omega Sentinel, they are all now gaining a team-up buff, or a team-up thing at the end of combat called Toxic Personality. This is dedicated to heroes that like to work with poisons. So any of your attrition exploiters are going to like it. Your Paragon exploiters are going to like it. You see the cleanse combo over there. Shayna loves it. Anybody who likes to work with stuns, because some of the poisons count as an in cap, they also like it. So diving in deep to the spear here, we will see it has red light, green light, 1, 2, 3. The red light is Incapacitation and Woozy, which reduces range damage by 40. By the way, all of these count as poisons. Yellow light is Caustic Strike, where it reduces the melee damage and it melts armor. And the big mean green machine is the Noxious Strike, that does Dizzy, Poison, Slowed, Torpid, which reduces psychic damage. Poisoned, again, it lists poison twice for some particular reason. But it will accelerate itself by applying Slowed if somebody already has poison, and applies Dizzy if they already have Slowed. So you can really stack the debuffs. They each have a 2-round cooldown. If you are aiming for a very good offensive item, this is a 95% desire to purchase this item. It is a phenomenal stat stick, and you can see here I have almost, I have 1.065k additional hit points. I have almost 600 additional attack, 200 additional defense, and almost 400 additional accuracy, because of having all these items equipped. So this turns a tanking agent into an absolute brick shithouse. Also, if you were to couple the Savage Axe, the Savage Spear, the Hallowed Flamethrower all together with something like a Cosmic Cardinal, increasing your cosmic energy, a Staff of Return, saying you're gonna res if you die, you could turn into an absolute nightmare of a defensive agent that simply will not die from all of these buffs. If you ran like the Flashing Fan and you reduced incoming melee damage, that's something else to consider. I think maybe that like Paladin Shield, Paladin Array that reduces incoming damage. The Blade of the Guardian, which just gives you rising up buffs, which then eventually leads to the Blessing of Heroes, which is a heal. There's a lot of things you could do now that we have 5 slots. If you really don't know what you want to do with the 5th slot, and you don't have any of the good quick or free action gear that drops now, yeah, get the Savage Spear and use it simply for stats. If you don't want to use it for the attacks, that's okay. Use it for the massive bonuses it gives you. Plus, it does really have some good attacks in the toolkit. And if you were to stack it with the Primitive Spear and the Hallowed Flamethrower, it's essentially like having the Savage Axe. Plus having the Savage Axe with its chance to do deadly crits, which right now it is at an 82% chance to crit, and have it be Brutal Strike and Fatal Blow. Man, you're so huge, if somebody's just had a lick of damage, you might one-shot them for an agent like this. Especially if you ran the Elite ISO. Let's say you ran the Signpost, which reduced dot damage. You ran the Elite ISO, which says you get buffed if you get hit with certain attacks. Or Captain's Courage, that reduces dot damage. If you can't get dotted to death, and you have all these defensive items, yeah, you're going to be out on the field for a long time. And, you know, it just works really, really well with those who like poisons. I mean, even here, Magic. Her Evil Eyes applying breakdown and everything like that. Her eye bites are known for doing, like, poisons and everything. So, yeah, there's lots of people who work with poisons in the game. There's lots of people who exploit them in some way, shape, or form. So, yes, you do want to get the Savage Spear. Even if you're not like one of those gotta catch 'em all Pokemon collectors and you want to pick and choose your battles, this is a battle I think you should pick. And I think it is worth your gold to get this, especially if we do get a gold sale later today, which I may be able to cover in the week in Marvel Avengers Alliance. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video and the background music, and as always, give a like if you liked the video, make any comments below if you agree or disagree with my statements, and also hit the subscribe button and follow me on Twitter or Twitch. Take care, everybody. Have a good weekend.